Hey everyone, Cheree here, bringing a devotion for you today. Hey, I am situated in a playground. Yes, that's right, I'm sitting in a playground. And behind me here is a special place in our school here at CCC. And for those who don't know, I'm a chappie here at the school and work with an amazing well-being team. And this room here is our responsible thinking room. So kids are maybe having a little challenging moment. There's a process that happens here, and yeah, they end up going into this place here, and it's really cool. And the ladies are in there every day. They do an incredible job here at our college, and we really appreciate them. But it kind of got me thinking about responsible thinking. Like, do we do this every day in our daily lives? And obviously over our development as maybe, I don't know what phase of life you're in at the moment, but there are times where we need to think about things responsibly. And it kind of led me to a story in the Bible, and it is in Matthew 14. And for those who know their Bibles well, we're talking about Peter and him jumping out of a boat. I'll probably give you a clue if you didn't know where I was going. So if we head to I think we're going to head to verse 22. It says, immediately Jesus made his disciples get into a boat and go before him to the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. Now, I just want to pause there. Jesus was really good at withdrawing himself from the crowd, from the things that were surrounding him, and he withdrew to be with his Father. And this challenges me because, you know, I know about there's times in our lives where, you know, we reflect on that scripture call about praying without ceasing. And we did a youth camp earlier this year, and we were talking about prayer and what our prayer life looks like, and is it, you know, time with the Lord for like half an hour or whatever it may be, or is it like we're shooting up arrow prayers every day, all day, every day? And I think it's really important for us to take a check about our prayer life. Like, are we bringing things to the Lord often? And if it was good enough for Jesus to come away and pray and spend time with his Father, then it's good for us too. Anyway, now when the evening came, he was alone there, but the boat was now in the middle of the sea, tossed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. There we go. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea. How cool is that? And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It's a ghost." And they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid." I love it how the Lord, you know, was really, he understood where his boys were at. He knew where their hearts were. They were troubled. They were scared. There was fear. And he spoke to that, and he told them to not fear. And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." I just want us to stop. He was asking him to command him to come out on the water. If it is you, command me to come out onto the water. It's a pretty interesting thing to say. 29, it goes on. So he said, "Come." And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. Why did Peter get out of the boat? What was his responsible thinking process? Like, why would he want to go out? One, they were fearful because they thought they saw a ghost. Obviously, they weren't getting any sleep because the boat was being tossed to and fro. So they would have been troubled. They would have been in a state of anxiousness, I would believe. It's not nice being in unkind weather, and especially in a boat if you've experienced that. And so it would be, their hearts would have been troubled, like the scripture says. And Peter yells out and says, well, if it is you, Jesus, command me to come to you. Command me to get out of this boat and come to you. Peter wanted to be like his rabbi, his teacher. And if it was good enough for Jesus, it was good enough for Peter. And I think sometimes we need to take a responsible thinking process, and we need to recognize if it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for us. If speaking to the lost is good enough for Jesus, then it's good enough for us. If healing the sick was what Jesus did and it was good enough for him, then it's good enough for us. Jesus is our example, and our responsibility is clear, that we have the Great Commission to fulfill, that we are to make disciples, that we are to love our neighbor as ourselves, we are to heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the leper, cast out demons. There are many more things that I could say. They're the ones that come to mind straight away. But, we're called to do and be like our rabbi, be like our teacher, be like Jesus. And I think that's really important for us to remember, especially when we have times of trouble and we have to do things the Jesus way. And responsible people wouldn't have got out of the boat. Responsible people would have seen the waves and would have been shocked by the waves or overcome it, which Peter ended up becoming overcome by the waves. And he took his eyes off Jesus. But Jesus is who we look to. And it's really important that he is a part of our everyday process, our everyday responsible thinking process, that if it's good enough for Jesus, it should be good enough for us. And I just want to leave you with that today. He's a good Savior. Amen. So I pray that's talked to someone today and challenged someone today. And I just hope you have a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. Remember, if it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for you.